Good whatever time of day it is to you, and welcome back to the channel. Today, the second round of LEGO Ideas projects for 2021 has closed, with 34 product ideas getting over 10,000 people supporting the ideas. Today I'm doing a quick reaction stroke first thoughts on these 34 and see what I think will be the sets that get made. I imagine it will probably be only one of these 34 are going to be made. So let's see what we have. So first up we have the Lifeguard Shack here. It looks like a very nice little design with one minifigure and a seagull figure. It looks very nice, but I don't see much that could be used as a gimmick, as it were, like how the piano could be played, the typewriter could be actually used, etc, etc. So, not sure on that one. Next, we have the Imperial Island Fort. This is obviously based on the classic Pirates theme by the looks of it. This one does look like it would have more playability with it, but again there is no sort of obvious movement feature to it. I do like the design of this idea. It looks very good to me. Next we have Spaceballs. It's obviously based on the movie Spaceballs, which was a parody of Star Wars pretty much. So it's the van from that movie. I don't really have much to say on this because I've not seen the movie, and it does seem a little bit simple to me compared to what we have been getting as LEGO Ideas sets. Next we have the costume store. This is obviously a modular build, so whilst it is a very well designed build, it's highly unlikely that it's going to be made into the set, seeing as it's modular and no modular things have ever been made into a LEGO Ideas set. Next we have BTS Dynamite, which to me comes more across as trying to get these specific figures rather than a big set itself, and I don't really see how this would work as a set. Sure, if you're a BTS fan, this will probably be a great set, but to me personally, who is not, it's not really that interesting to me. Okay, next up we have Movie Set. This has potential, but I'm not too hopeful it will be the set, seeing as it is basically a series of modular builds. However, it's a nice idea and could be classed as a slight gimmicky set, given that it looks like movie-based stuff. I'm not really being very clear on what I'm trying to say here, but yeah. Oh well. Next we have A-frame cabin. This is a very well designed set, which is probably going to be a very common occurrence of me saying in this video. But this is again suffering from the same issues that all the other sets I've mentioned so far, in that it doesn't really have a thing. Like there's no movement, nothing to play music on, as it were, which LEGO are going into quite a lot. This does seem to fit into the sort of adults range of sets that LEGO Ideas is going for recently. Next we have Boston Dynamics Spot 1/4 scale motorized model. That's a mouthful to say. So this one does have the gimmicks. Well, I really shouldn't say gimmicks, but it does have movement to it, which is the first set that has something other than just being a set, a display set. I presume the motorizedness allows it to move around, and I presume it's based off something. I just have no idea what. Next we have Medieval Tavern. This is a very nicely designed set, again, obviously based in medieval time. This I could see as potential because it is very similar to the blacksmith's shop that we got recently from Lego Ideas. But as we've had that one recently, will we get another one like that? I'm not sure. But then again, it would fit with that set as well, so there is potential there. Next we have Women of Computing, so obviously celebrating famous women who are important in history of computing. There is 5 separate things and 6 people. I would read the names, but they're slightly too blurry on these pictures to see. So this is a nice looking set, I would say, but it's more of a display thing, so I'm not really sure on that one. Number 11 is The Tavern Under the Snow, which seems like a much smaller version of the medieval tavern we literally just saw, and in the snow theme. So again, this would probably fit with the medieval blacksmith shop we got recently, but again, there isn't really a thing with this set like recent Lego Ideas sets have had, on top of it being a display piece. Next we have Working Mini Golf Course, fully playable. So this one definitely has a lot of potential, seeing as there is a thing that you can use it for, not just as a display piece, but use it as an actual golf course, like how we've had an actual piano and an actual typewriter. So this one definitely has a lot of potential. Not much more to say on there. It's nicely designed, as are all the other sets we've seen so far. Next we have Brick Walk, which is another modular. So again, we've never had a Lego Ideas modular set, so will this get made? Probably not. Next, we have the Medieval Harbour, which would fit into the medieval theme of the other sets I've said, and it's very similar to the Imperial set I discussed earlier. It's a nice looking display piece, but I don't really see this as becoming a Lego Ideas set. Next we have Floating Island using Tengrinity. I have no idea how to say that word properly, but I recognise that it's using strings to make it appear that it is floating. This floating island to me kind of looks like Hyrule Castle from the trailers of Breath of the Wild 2 that we've had recently. I think it has a lot of potential because it's using Tengrinity. Again, sorry about that pronunciation. And seeing as it doesn't explicitly say Breath of the Wild to it, or Legend of Zelda, it might have potential. And as there appears to be a city underneath, that does distance it from it being the Legend of Zelda's Hyrule Castle floating. Next we have GameStop Classic Shop, which seems a little simple to me if you ask me. It's a very small modular by the looks of it, so I really do not see much potential with this one. Next we have Aircraft Engine Workshop, minifigure scale and working. So this is obviously an aircraft engine. As it's working, I can see it having a lot of potential because it has moving parts and is not just a display piece but has a gimmick, as I'm calling it. I would guess this has a lot of potential to it. Whilst it probably is big, would probably fit into a very niche audience, but then again, the typewriter would have fitted into a very niche audience as well, so, and that got made into a set, so I'm not discounting it. Next we have the ScoobyDoo Mystery Machine. This is obviously based on ScoobyDoo, and as we've had mystery machines and Scooby-Doo sets before, I'm thinking it's highly unlikely that this is going to be made. But still a very nice design. Next we have Airport Fire Truck Rosenberg Panther 8x8. This is the first vehicle. Well, the second vehicle, sorry, the Mystery Machine is obviously the first vehicle. This is the second vehicle of the 34 sets. It's a vehicle. It's at an airport. It could fit into Lego City, but I really don't see it having much potential in this wave. Next we have the traditional German cottage, which looks to be using the same idea medieval blacksmiths had. It is a very nice build, I would say. I would say has a lot of potential when compared to the blacksmith shop. But as we have the blacksmith shop, and this one is very similar to that, in my opinion, will it be made? I'm not too sure. Next we have Outer Solar System Explorers, so all the different satellites and so forth that have been launched in space. This would probably fit in with the Saturn V and the International Space Station sets, which I think were Lego ideas, don't quote me on that. So these would fit in with that. But again, these are just display pieces. There's no other thing other than them being a nice display piece. But again, very nicely designed, and each one comes with a minifigure, I've just noticed. Next, number 22, Knight Rider Kit and the Flagmobile Command Unit. So this is another two vehicles. Obviously, a truck and a car. I'm guessing it's based on something, but I have no idea what that is. These are nice builds. I'm not really a vehicle person myself, so yeah, not much more to say on that. Next we have John's Medieval Watermill. So obviously fits with the medieval blacksmith shop, which I'm saying a lot in this video. But again, as I've mentioned, we've got the blacksmith shop. They probably won't do another medieval one that looks like it would fit in to that set, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong. But again, very nicely built. So next we have Jaws, obviously based on the movie Jaws. I forget the name of the boat that gets completely destroyed by the end of the movie. Spoilers for the movie if you've not seen that. They're very nicely built. It's got a nice brick built shark. And would be a nice display piece, but Lego Ideas has seemed to have moved away from making sets built on movies and so forth. So I'm not sure on that one. Next we have Basement and Sewerage. This is a very nicely built underground set. But I really don't see much potential with it, seeing as it's pretty much just a box. So yeah, I can't really. It's nicely built and designed, but I don't really see it being a set. Next we have Carl's house from Up. So, if you've seen the movie Up, you know that this is the house that takes off in the movie to go to Paradise Falls, taking Carl and I've completely forgotten the scout boy's name. That's annoying. It's nicely built, but again, Lego seem to have moved away from making sets based on movies for Lego ideas. So will it be made into a set? Don't really think so. Next we have, sorry about the pronunciation of this, Neyhaven, Copenhagen, Denmark. So this obviously would fit more into the architecture line of sets. And again, Lego Ideas never have done architecture-based sets, so will this be made? I doubt it, because it fits more into the architecture line than into Lego Ideas, I would say. Next we have Minus Tifrus. That is probably pronounced horribly. This is a common theme in this video, obviously. So obviously based on Lord of the Rings. So will it be made? We've had Lord of the Rings sets. I doubt it, sadly. As cool as the set looks, I'm not hopeful that it'll be made into a set personally. Next we have the Nanny, which I'm presuming is based off something, possibly a TV show. So there is potential of it being made, like the Friends TV show got Lego Ideas sets made recently. So there is potential, assuming this is a TV series like Friends, which I have no idea if it is or not. Next, at 30, we have the apartment. So, a modular build, very nicely made, but modular, so yeah, not going to be happening, I reckon. Next, we have the medieval fortress, brackets, castle. Fits with the blacksmith shop, but again, blacksmith shop already exists. Probably not going to do another medieval themed set. Next we have House of Time. Now this is obviously a clock with a pendulum. This I reckon has a lot of potential if they make it so that it can actually be used to tell time. If it or has some way of incorporating an actual clock to it, whether that be a digital one or not. But I reckon that has quite a lot of potential to it. Next we have the A-Team Van and Crew, so obviously based on the A-Team. It's a movie, so it's not, and there haven't been movie sets in Lego Ideas recently, and it's also a vehicle, and we've not really had many vehicles in recent memory, but still, nice set. If you've seen the A-Team, you'll probably like it a lot. I have not, so yeah. And finally, we have Log Cabin, which is obviously a log cabin. It looks very nice to me, but I really don't see this being made into a set. Seeing as it could be. I might be dismissing a few of these out of hand, but I just don't see this being made somehow. And at the bottom of this blog, as you can see here, they are still working on the first review from 2021, which had 57 sets to it. So we have no news on which one of those are being made. Out of these 34 then, the ones I reckon have the most potential of becoming the sets were the Clock of Time, House of Time, and the Engine. To me, these are probably the most likely to be made. But what do I know? I could be completely wrong and surprised by one of the modular sets being made to be the first ever modular set. So, thanks so much for watching. We shall find out in due course what Sect won, and I shall see you when I see you. Cheers and goodbye.